right, hello, welcome to this video. Thanks for tuning in and sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back if you have. My intention is unity and oneness in the highest levels of love light. I just want to go into a little flow. So I'm just going to kind of go into flow with you guys, with me. I'm going to turn out the light. Go away on the kumawa te ao go away ne te amakuwa ha e ne waha kuwa waha ne te uste kunaha. As we deepen the resonance, as we allow our hearts to go deeper, as we sink deeper into our true resonance, our harmonics, our true harmony, we align with a deeper realm, if you will. We align with a deeper reality. We remove the film. We change film strips. And as I say, we change film strips, I'm seeing like this Mobius strip. We're kind of like shifting in a different space. And Mobius strip is like, I think it's like a Rodin coil, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll play with that. And as we allow ourselves to align with a deeper resonance, we recognize that the film that we have been staring through have been through somebody else's eyes, have been through another's eyes, have been filled with, so I'm being guided to play with this because it's basically looking at it from a different perspective. It's like a lot of people feel like they've been lied to, right? So if you believe a truth, what happens is then when you find out that it's not real, you feel like you've been lied to. And that's what's happening, I think, what I'm seeing for a lot of people, like, whoa, this is not the reality that I thought it was. It can be very exciting. But as we allow ourselves to deepen in our essence, to recognize our deeper essence, to recognize that which we are essentially are, that which we are essentially moving away from, we allow ourselves to recognize that our bandwidths have a broader range of motion than we previously thought. All constructs are losing their grip, if you will. And as we lose our grip on our old reality construct, we allow ourselves to continuously deconstruct into. And I can't remember, I always get reference to D, and D for me represents a musical harmony. It also represents many different, it represents a color. So I've been playing with D for a long time, and C, so sometimes it's just the letter. And what I'm hearing, it's the letter of the law of one, so to speak. And we are being invited to see past, to surge past the old system. And I'm seeing see past the old grid. For the power grids that we are dipping into, that we are creating, that we are surging into, are out creating that which we used to view as our only potential, as our only gateway into certain realities, as our only infrastructure. Sorry, I know it can be distracting with all these lights behind me, so I'm just gonna keep going. I put a little towel up. For the grid structure that we are creating, the network of all that we are, the deeper channels that we are tapping into as channels, as the lit network, so to speak. I'm hearing light it up. For as we light up our grid stations, as we allow ourselves to deepen into this, I'm hearing natural ionization process. We allow ourselves to, I'm seeing a spin. Kune wa te wa kune. We spin out of the, I'm hearing we spin out of the lower frequencies as those frequencies spin out around us. So I'm seeing like, if you picture a coil or a tornado and it just loses its spin and it just dissipates. And so what I was being shown is that that's what's happening. So there's been this spin, and the spin that the other forces, they're not able to hold on to it. They're not able to hold it. It's like a ice skater. You know, the centripetal force isn't there. So we are the centripetal force. We are our own storm. We are the storm bringers, so to speak. Kune wa ha ide wa okunaha wa at esh tu kune. And as we allow ourselves to dissipate, and I just keep seeing the eye of the storm. Be the eye of the storm. Be the eye of the storm. Hold our space. Eau de door. I know, it was a Game of Thrones reference, but anyways. Cool. For as we coil around our own, I'm hearing Tesla conversion tanks. So we're electrical bodies. I was writing the other day that we're going through electrolysis, and I have to actually go back and share a video with what I've written lately to kind of play with the words a little bit. But essentially we're dissolving this buildup of steam, so to speak. I'm hearing there's a steamboat convention, and there's a lot of puff, a lot of steam, but not a lot of true force behind it. It's a forced force, if that makes sense. It's a fake force. It's it's not real. And as we see through these particular modalities of realities, so almost like these different modalities of realities. We'll have to play with that a little bit. So there's these different modes of transportation in which these realities have been conveyed to us or have been transported through the communication networks and centers. And there's a lot of modes of transportation. And without going into television, radio, and breaking all of that down, in addition to the dialogue of the collective, etc., etc., those modes of transportation have all been corrupted. And this is also play on words like a computer program. And so essentially what we're doing is we are helping to dissolve the dissolution, right? We're helping to clear out the old programming and the old grid system that everybody used to, let's say, have to. They didn't have to, but felt like that was their only network that they could tune into, has no longer the vocabulary necessary to hold the bank, is what I'm hearing. And this is also play on words. It no longer has the vocabulary to hold the truth of who and what we are, the value system, right? We are breaking the bank, essentially, because what that old system had banked on has now gone into, I'm seeing a reference to when you burn a bunch of, it's like fat. I'm seeing like if there was a lot of fat, stored fat, and they're tapping into the reserves, as my husband calls it. Tapping into the reserves because there's not enough fat for them to chew on. And I'm not stating this all as, this isn't just about a particular narrative that we're seeing unfolding on our collective. political, social, economic scale. It's everything. It also has to do with our bodies. So as above, so below, as within, so without. So oftentimes these downloads and information that I'm speaking about or sharing also has to do with our physical influx as a grid, as a part of the grid, because we're all grid workers in essence, right? Because we are all making up this this human binome, if you will, with Mother Earth. So we become this collective of cells within a cellular network, and we are essentially burning up the fat, and we are then allowing ourselves, it's like, I guess like the keto diet, is that what it is? The key to operating at a higher frequency, right? And by the way, I'm not speaking for the keto diet. I've never tried it. But I'm just kind of playing with that a little bit. Like the concept is that you burn through things differently, right? Your body burns through things differently. And so what I'm being shown is that our frequency patterns at networks are so lit right now that we are literally chewing the fat. It's not like those that were chewing the fat, you know, just talking about nothing and chewing the fat, are actually, there's no more fat to chew. Because I'm hearing we're the muscle. And this isn't, I've got like 5 different things coming in. The heart is the key. The heart is the key. The keto, the key to, play with those words. The key to the higher realms, the deeper realms, the inner knowing, the deeper essence of who we are. And this has been the message time and time again as all prophecies come to pass. Yet all prophecies have been prophesied based upon a certain expectancy, and prophecies are merely a form of communication based on certain frequency expectations, timelines, implantations, and currencies that have been based on a particular currency trajectory. So this is all a plan where it's like, oftentimes there are prediction models based on past history or based on model components and parts, and that's out the window from what I'm being shown. It's like, it's not, it's like been blown out of the water. So what we could have predicted is no longer predictable in the same essence. And I'm hearing the predict tables have turned. So I've talked about this a lot. The tables that we have done our mathematics multiplied off of, the tables that we have been spinning our stories off of, are gone. And I know that this is a play on words because we go, well, the mathematics is still the same. 2 + 2 is 4, Carrie. Sorry, I got squirrel. So a lot of the base, I'm hearing platonic solids are the same, but the actual methodology behind how we made those mathematical equations are not set in stone. They've been played out, from one perspective. So they've been outplayed, is what I'm hearing. So it's like we've gone beyond what our old prediction models in everything. It's everything. It's like the Industrial Revolution, but it's going to be, you know how we had everything come out all at once. And then we had in the 80s, we had the cell phone and the computer. that's what we're at right now in the golden age. So a lot of the models and statistical categorization that's been a part of our reality structure has now been dissolved. And so many of the old systems will no longer support those equations. And this is in every aspect. And I'm just kind of hearing like people's minds are going to be blown. Which is really exciting, and it can be uncomfortable for some. So we're really being invited just to be in the flow, in the know, in the now, and let go of all that we think we know. All the things that we think we know have the opportunity to shift, have had the opportunity to dissolve. I'm hearing ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And those dust particles, I always make this reference to his dark materials and the golden compass, because it's also very metaphorical, and it gives us many different analogies that we can use to parallel our reality. Like dust, it's this inner spark, dark matter. All of it is like, we're going to have this huge, again, it's like the golden awakening, right? The golden compass. But anyways, I'm going to end on that note. That's just where I'm at. This is where we're at right now from what I'm receiving on these messages. And it's just fun to play with these messages in such a way that when we get our own downloads, when we get our own information coming in, we're being invited to play with the new chords, the new music channels, the new ways of communication, the new, because there's so much that maybe we're just on the precipice. Like, what are we hanging on to in our old construct that maybe doesn't fit there anymore, and it's just kind of hanging out, waiting to be dissolved. Is kind of what I'm hearing. Resolved, dissolved. I'm going to end with a little light language. For the ascension, time is here. Time has left, yet it is time to feel into the ascension that we are already in. It has already begun. We have already accomplished what it is that we think we need to accomplish. We are being invited to let go of this compact pact that we've been holding with ourselves. What I'm hearing is holding ourselves accountable, but that's a play on words. It's like there's this tightness that we've been tightly wound. We've been tightly bound to certain concepts. We've been holding ourselves accountable. I can't do this because I need to do this first. I need to accomplish this so I can feel good about myself. Those are all old constructs from one perspective. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't hold ourselves accountable. In some ways, it's just the old way of what we think and how we need to accomplish things. We're being invited to take a step back and say, how can I be more fluid in this and not be in resistance to what is being laid out in front of me? It's like, have you ever had a certain goal and all of a sudden the goal is no longer relevant? And it's like you're so used to working towards that one thing, and all of your day was around that one particular goal, and then it's, oh, guess what? It's no longer, we're going to change the course. And it's like, but what? I've put all this time and all this effort into this one thing, and now it doesn't matter anymore. That is sometimes even harder than working towards that goal, right? So that's kind of what I'm hearing. That's resistance, because sometimes we've already accomplished it and we just don't even realize it. because we're so busy looking ahead that we haven't stopped to realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm already there. Okay. Wow. All right, I'm going to end on that note. Thank you so much, you guys. So much more. It's been a really powerful couple of weeks for me. If you haven't, this is your first time watching me share this with you guys. We're in it. It's a very beautiful, crazy time in so many ways. Hold our space, stay in resonance, stay in heart coherence, work on being in a space of neutrality and compassion, and everything is unfolds in a much smoother way than we've ever been used to before. And that's what I'm hearing is the biggest challenge for many. In love and light, guys. Namaste.